As a channel usually obsessed with the old, it's fun to explore a brand new LEGO Harry Potter set. This of course is one of 2 Hogwarts Moments books set to release this March 1st. Found mine early at Walmart and you probably can too. So without further ado, let's take a closer look. So this is set number 76396, Hogwarts Moment Divination Class. Comes with 3 minifigures, retails for $29.99. This is now one of 6 of the Hogwarts Moment sets. A series of these buildable books that open up and create a Hogwarts Moment. This one is particularly striking in its color scheme. Whereas the others have featured a lot more faded tones, this goes all out for that bright purple, which I do appreciate. For any collector, of course, the highlight of this set will be the 3 exclusive minifigures. Unlike last year's short-legged Hogwarts students, this year's Hogwarts Moments books gives our minifigures the posable short legs, the medium legs. Surfer Harry makes a return in this set, featuring that hair that I attribute pretty much to that CMF Series 2 surfer dude. This Harry is exclusive, but all the elements you see here have been produced before. Parvati is also exclusive to this set. This is actually only our 2nd Parvati figure we've gotten. I can't say for certain, but that face print might be new. Regardless, it's the first time we've seen it in Harry Potter. It's great to get more obscure figures like this. The real gem here is a new Trelawney. This figure, of course, bears some resemblance to the CMF one released a few years ago, but they are actually far more different than I thought. The only thing the same about them is that wonderful hairpiece. The CMF Trelawney didn't even have a double-sided head, but this one does. On one side we get a fairly neutral expression, and on the other is the shocked expression. For Trelawney, I find both of these to be a little on the tame side, but still, it's a fantastic figure. I absolutely love getting some leg printing there, and the printing is really consistent all the way down the figure, which is great. The setup of the book is identical to the sets that we've seen before, and I think that's a good thing to remain consistent. If you have any of the other Hogwarts Moments set, this format will be very familiar to you. Not much has changed in the layout of this, but I still think they do a lot to make this charming and unique. Inside this book, the designer has managed to cram an entire classroom. That's pretty awesome. Unpacking this is undeniably satisfying, and seeing where all these different furniture items end up is pretty amusing. They certainly got creative and used the space to its fullest potential. Let's take a quick look at what we've got down here. This here is simply a stickered shelf. Of course, that sticker is absolutely painful to get in there, and if you mess it up, too bad. You can't really get it out. And it's further complicated by the fact that it's upside down. This would be a very easy sticker to get the wrong way around. We have a very comfortable looking seat here. Wow. So it's on a 4x4 base, it's huge. A table with an orb. This is one of those Mysterio heads, and then just a translite blue minifigure head on the inside. Of course, I'm delighted that the table is surfaced in dark orange. And then we've got dark gray ice cream cones as the legs. We've got 2 very, very simple seats here and a kettle on a table. I was also happy to see that they've continued the practice of giving us an exclusive 1x2 print in the book. This one features the Grim, of course, and a little article about that. I think the designer did a really good job of capturing the feel of the Divination Classroom, which is a really unique setting in Harry Potter, and always one that I've wanted to see a set made of. The dark red and the purple are great, and the flame yellowish orange accent is really nice too. This pops a lot more than some of the other Hogwarts Moments books that they've done in the past. My favorite part of the whole build here are the techniques used in the central column. On the bottom, we have this shelf, which features a crystal, but I really like the ornamentation done above here with a lot of these sharp angles. And then up above, we have this new unprinted tan owl, kind of becoming part of the architecture, which is really cool. The only downside of this middle section are these drawers, which drive me nuts. These have always been a problem, but they have no friction, so they don't stay open or closed, which is really frustrating, especially when you're putting this thing back together, as the book is supposed to go in here, but it's difficult to get in there when they won't stay open, and it doesn't want to stay in there because it just falls out. That isn't so much a set design flaw as it is a parts design flaw. There's all sorts of interesting lighting up above too. We have a lamp, 2 candles, and then this, which is quite interesting. I'm not exactly sure what it's trying to represent, but it looks cool, and that's good enough for me. Otherwise, everything remains relatively simple. In most of the Hogwarts Moment sets, these are just walls or shelves. Done a good job of recreating the curtained effect, which is so prevalent within the Divination classroom itself. Though I would have liked to have seen this space maybe be a bit more usable. The stickers, again, while painful to get in and even more painful to get out, look quite nice. It's some really fun graphic design. We've got this big pile of teacups. Overall, it's really nice. You saw me unpack it, but just to give you an idea of how they put this back together, the two stools are put on top of each other, and there, in this doorway, they are all attached by one stud, which I didn't actually think would work, but it does, which is pretty cool. The book goes in the drawers. The drawers which I hate with all my being. Close it up. That's gonna go there. The chair, I believe, goes right in there. And then on top, oh, I forgot this doesn't. See, there's a bit of a learning curve to this, but it's a fun process, and I don't think it's a bad thing by any means. So the divination orb goes on top of the stools, and then it closes up. It's not perfectly closing up. I've had a few other books do that too, but honestly, it's close enough for me. The figures don't fit in there. So I've kind of always been of the opinion that these sets are just a touch overpriced. So this one isn't really bad. When it comes down to price per part, we've got 297 pieces for $30, which is right in line with what you'd expect. However, I mean, this ultimately becomes a wall. It feels a little small. However, now that I've had a chance to sit with this one a little bit, I think compared to the other $30 sets out there, this is a clear winner, in my opinion. This is a play set at the end of the day, and there's so much play potential here. This feature, to have this thing fold up and all these accessories go back inside, is so smart. Does it get kids excited about cleaning up? I don't know. It gets me excited about cleaning up. But the fact that this little box can become so much more is a really cool concept. And they've tied it into the Harry Potter universe so well. And I know there's a lot of people out here who just want Hogwarts expansions, but if you could only have one Harry Potter set, I don't see why you wouldn't choose a book like this. We're getting lots of really cool locations, some really cool minifigures, and a really unique experience that we're not seeing outside of the Harry Potter line. When I compare this to the other Hogwarts Moment sets, I think the color is where it stands out the most. The walls here and everything else is pretty standard. Even the accessories here are pretty standard, though we do get a few cool pieces. If you collect these things, this is a no-brainer. If you collect minifigures, this is a no-brainer. If you're looking to just expand your Hogwarts, this is probably a set you can live without. However, if there's a kiddo in your life who is into Harry Potter and maybe doesn't have a lot of Lego Harry Potter sets, I don't think I could recommend one of these Hogwarts Moments packs any higher. It really is everything you'd want from a Lego set for a pretty good price. And better yet, if you're willing to wait, you'll be able to find this thing for $24 at Walmart. All of last year's Hogwarts Moment sets are currently $24 on rollback at most Walmarts here in the US, which is a great way to get them for a really good price. And if you can't wait, if you're like me and have to go to Walmart every day until they finally put this out on shelves and pay $30, mad respect to you. So what do you make of the Hogwarts Moments lineup? Do you want to see this theme continue in the future? And if so, do you have any ideas for what would make a great Hogwarts Moments set? I look forward to talking with you about it all in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Harry Potter video. Definitely got some more Harry Potter reviews coming up in the near future as soon as I can get my hands on those sets. So we will see you then.